Right, so welcome to this video. This is our questions and answers video. So
yeah,
what we're going to do here is we've taken some questions that we'll put on our community page in response to me asking for a load of questions. So I think we've got about 23 questions.
Yeah, we did at least.
Yeah. So should we get going?
Let's get started. We'll be here for hours.
Yeah, this is the interrogation. We've got the spotlights on and everything, so ready to go.
Right. So the first question is from a subscriber, family of 6.
Yeah.
And the question is, hi Bob and Jenny, and obviously Poppy.
Yeah.
Who's not here.
Who's not here? We'll put a picture in here somewhere.
I'm a born sand grounder. Not many of us left. What do you think of Southport?
I really explain what sand grounder means, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Sand grounder means built on sand, and basically a lot of the houses around Southport are built on sand. So you're a sand grounder. What do I think of Southport? I love it. I've always loved Southport. We used to come here when we were in the early days when we were married, because my mum moved up to Southport and we were still down south, so we used to come up here regularly. It was always a place we came for holidays. Now we've come for one big long holiday now.
Yeah. No, I like it. I mean, it's taken me a little while to settle because obviously lived down south all the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I suppose I still do think of Hertfordshire as where I come, my home place.
Yeah.
But no, it is a lovely place. It's a nice place to live.
People are friendly.
Yeah.
And you get on with most people, and it is a nice area. I mean, you've got all the sort of the front and everything. Ainsdale's a lovely little village, and Birkdale just up the road as well.
Yeah.
So no, we like it a lot here.
Yeah.
Next question.
Next question. Right, so we've done that one. Which site would you recommend? Because we're doing it for the Valentine's Day, 14th of February.
Yeah.
Which site would you recommend for a romantic weekend away, and why? That's from John Pennington.
Okay. I suggested Knaresborough. It's got the bistro on site there. Presumably once they've opened and they can get everyone in there, then that's quite a nice place to go, because you don't have to go too far. You can have a drink and have a nice meal, and food was really good. We went there with Posh Cats Camping.
That's right, and with Glyn, didn't we? We've been in the bistro twice.
What was yours?
I said Ashwell, because that's where when we used to live near there, in Hertfordshire. We used to go there for anniversary meals and things, didn't we? Because there's a choice of pubs in the village. Our favourite was always the 3 Tons.
Yeah.
And we used to go there for our meals. And it's a nice little site, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I said Ashwell. You said Knaresborough.
Okay. Two choices there.
2 choices. So yeah. Right. Next question is from Kevin Whiteley, and he says, do you think you will still be motorhoming in 10 years' time, health permitting?
Well, there's 2 aspects to this. Obviously, there's the age. Assuming I'm in good health and nothing else has gone wrong, yes, I think so. No reason why not. I might even have the same motorhome, who knows? Or I might have a different one. But what may well change in 10 years' time is what that motorhome's powered by.
Yes.
And manufacturers need to get their act together and produce a vehicle that's capable of doing 200 miles before being charged up. And I think that may be one of the big issues. What I'd like to see manufacturers doing is producing vehicles perhaps based on hydrogen cell or some other alternative technology rather than a rechargeable battery.
Yeah.
Because bigger vehicles, it seems a bit impractical to carry a massive battery around on a vehicle that already weighs up to 3.5 tons or more. So that might be a deciding factor whether we're still motorhoming or not. I mean, if we're not motorhoming, we probably would be caravanning, but then you've got the similar problem with the tow vehicles. I know there are vehicles out there that can tow, but you're looking at mileages probably towing of less than 100 miles.
Yeah,
which is one of the great things about motorhoming, is the distance you can travel in relative comfort.
That's right.
So 10 years seems a long time off, but it's not actually.
No, I'll soon be here.
Yeah,
that's that question. We've got one about condensation.
Yeah, this is from Peter Neal.
Yeah.
And it's condensation in the bathroom or the
washroom.
And how do you prevent it? I thought about this question, and he didn't want to open the windows.
No,
because it gets cold
winter,
this time of year.
Yeah.
If you don't open the skylight.
Yeah.
I thought the only solution, really, if you're really sort of worried about the condensation when you're having a shower, is a extractor fan, like we've got in the kitchen.
We've got it in our shower upstairs, haven't we?
Yeah, at home there's an extractor fan, and that's probably the only way. So to take off the little hecky that you normally have in these washrooms and replace it with a little fan. I suppose that's the way.
Yeah.
Or use the toilet block. Use the shower block.
Yeah, that is one way of avoiding it. You don't have a shower. Yeah.
I mean, we've been using our own facilities, haven't we?
Sort of an answer.
We've been using our own facilities since the crisis started, and we've got on fairly well. I'm not bothered about the condensation in washrooms. I mean, they are normally wiped down, aren't they? So.
Yeah.
And you know, most of the shower area is plastic, and it's not going to do any harm.
Right. So that's that one. Right, next one is from Heather.
Yeah.
And it said, would you ever consider going on holiday in a hotel? A poppy-friendly one, obviously.
Oh, obviously.
Just wondered if you would consider it now.
We have stayed in hotels, and our friend Alison's 60th birthday. Last time we stayed it, and that was a travel. Was it a travel lodge?
Travel lodge,
yeah. Travel lodge.
Yeah.
But why would we want to stay in a hotel when we've got a motorhome which got all our home comforts with us?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing we have done in recent years is it was our 40th anniversary, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I thought we'd do something different. We'll go back to one of the cottages that we really enjoyed staying at. Yeah. So I said we'll take the van because it was in the north of Scotland.
And we thought we'd take the car as well.
Yeah, we did. It's another story altogether. Yeah. But the main thing was we took the motorhome because we were going to stop we stopped at Glasgow, didn't we?
Yeah.
We stopped at Killin, and then we were going to go to the cottage, and then we were going to stop at other places on the way back.
Yeah.
But I thought it'd just be nice to have a week in a cottage, you know, just stay with the wonderful views we had there at Plockton.
Yeah.
And two things went wrong, didn't they? First of all, there was
car
a problem with
braking
the car.
System had a problem.
Had a problem, so we left that with Bob and Aileen. So we just had the motorhome, and I checked from my memory and also from pictures of the cottage, and I thought, oh yeah, there's this great big parking area out the front.
Yeah,
that won't be a problem. Oh, was that a problem?
I think you've got to watch the video.
Yeah,
I think you've
got to do a link to that because. Yeah. I was filming going along, and then we were getting nearer and nearer the cottage, and I thought, oh no. So I'm not going to get.
No. I mean, going to a hotel is a little bit different. I think it's whether we'd go to a hotel
for a break.
Yeah,
it's the same sort of thinking that I had with the cottage. Was it would be nice just to go somewhere, do something different.
Yeah.
You know, and particularly with a hotel. I mean, you'd have your meals done, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You have your own room and all that.
That was a
thing.
disaster, but I don't think I'd actually go out of my way to stay in a hotel unless someone paid for it. I think if it was, it was a free one. I don't think I'd be spending my money on a hotel.
Turn it down, and it would have to be poppy friendly because the travel lodge, we didn't take her, did we? Because we only went in the car. We couldn't take her, so I missed her. It was it's crazy, really. It was only one night away, wasn't it, or something like that? But I, missed her.
Right, next question.
Next question is from Tom and Jerry.
Okay.
Is there any product out there you would give a fake review on just to get it for free, or are you going to stay away from being like the rest and just be honest, which you are the only ones on like that? Most have sold themselves out for the freebies.
Well, yeah, I think that's a bit unfair on other people, to be perfectly honest. I don't think people sell themselves out for freebies. We get sent products to review. The example has been sent 2 torches, and I've always done my reviews on the basics of if they don't like me doing a bad review, they probably won't send me any more products anyway.
No.
I certainly wouldn't do a fake review. There's no point either for my channel or for them. I think manufacturers are proud enough normally of their product to be confident that they can send it to someone who will have a look at it and think, yeah, that's all right. There are some products we've been sent, and I've really sort of thought, I can't see a purpose for that.
Yeah, there was that thing holding glasses in a bottle.
The bottle,
I
yeah.
can't remember what it was called now.
Yeah, gripper mat or something.
I think I find them the hardest videos to do because some people do think that just because you've been sent
I know people think that. We've been sent free, so we're going to give it a good review. It's not true.
And it's not true, no. Yeah.
And it annoys me a little bit, to be honest, that people think that I would give a fake review. We've been asked in the past, and whilst I'm on the subject of fake reviews, to do Amazon reviews. And companies have actually asked me, can they pay me to do a good review?
Yeah.
And I said, no, I'm not doing that. Why do that? I'm a consumer as well, and I want to see, really what a product's like.
Yeah.
And some of those reviews on Amazon, you've really got to be careful what you're looking at there. We got contacted by another company that said they thought they still had a business, that said they're going to do 5-star reviews for us. Yeah. They've got a team of people ready and waiting to do 5-star reviews.
I know.
It is infuriating that people do that. So no, I wouldn't give a fake review. Absolutely not.
And there is always a bit of research involved, isn't it? I mean, take the torch for example. Yeah. You had to go through the mat and you'll find out how all the modes work.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there is a bit of work involved in it.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, if I was being paid by the hour to do reviews, it probably wouldn't be worth it. It'd be easier for me to go out and buy the thing, wouldn't it?
It would, yeah.
Yeah. So no. And thanks for the question.
Yeah, there isn't any product that we would give a fake review on.
No, and it's sometimes difficult. You can see the benefit of a product, but you might not see how you could use it. So that's where the difficulty lies. And I try not to do products, I know I've failed in the past, where they haven't got a motorhome related theme. I think someone was asking me to review spas. That was one.
That was one, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought, which motorhome's got a spa bath in it? Yeah.
Nothing to do with it. No.
So try not to do that.
Yeah. Okay then. So that's that question. How to pronounce the subscriber's name, but it's ZXTR130F.
Right. Okay. Good name. Good name.
It says, when do you anticipate campsites reopening? I'm sure, like myself, you're going stir crazy being confined to barracks.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
When do we hope they'll be open?
Well, let's put it this way. We've booked some campsites with the Caravan and Motorhome Club in the anticipation that there will be opening. And the first one we booked is our local site, Southport, and that is
in middle of March.
Is it middle of March?
Yeah, they're letting you book from, I think it's from the 9th onwards.
Yeah, just looking at our planner up there. But
but they've done that before. They've allowed you to book from a certain date based on what the government say they're going to review things on.
Bear in mind, we've got this government review on the 22nd of February.
22nd of February.
So we might know a little bit better then when campsites are going to open. I think realistically, April is more likely.
April, I think, is the earliest.
Yeah.
Even May.
Yeah. So we're looking at getting away for Easter, hopefully.
Yeah.
And that's what we're sort of thinking on, really.
Yeah. Okay then, so the next question is from Brian in Brisbane.
Yeah.
And he said, what made you choose a motorhome over a caravan? You seem to tow your VW most places, so I thought a caravan would offer you accommodation and your tow car the transport of your destination. Thanks, we enjoy your vlogs.
Right, okay. Well, thanks, Brian in Brisbane. And
this is a frequently asked question.
It's a frequently asked question, yeah. Why don't we get a caravan instead of a motorhome and a tow car? Well, we like having a motorhome, first of all. I think ever since I was a kid, I've always liked the idea of having your home on your back, as it were. Everything that you need is with you, and it's just right behind you. And in fact, when you're driving, when you stop, you can put your feet up on the sofa, you can go to the loo, you can make a cup of tea, you can do all the things that you can do at home because your home's with you. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but when you stop with a car and a caravan, you've got to get out of the car, go to the caravan. Often what we see is caravanners stop at the services and then they go off to Costa Coffee or something.
Yeah. I mean, that is the great thing, that everything is sort of set up when you're travelling, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's the same whether we've got the car with us or not.
Yeah.
I mean, I always think it's the flexibility. We use the motorhome as a motorhome on tours where mainly in Europe, Scotland, when we're moving from site to site quite regularly. If we go into an area and we want to explore narrow roads, I mean the classic was the Wales trip at Shoresmead, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
The really narrow Welsh lanes.
We've got a little car.
We've got a little car that we can go out with. We've also got, I mean, the first time we ever talked about it was we were thinking of getting a storage box, weren't we? Because we were carrying things.
Yeah.
And you said, well, if we had the car, if we go out in the motorhome for the day, we can put the things in the back of the car.
Which you can. You
Which
can use the
yeah.
car as a trailer. So if
Yeah.
you've got your awning with you, you can put the awning in the car and
Yeah.
tow it without having to find a space in the motorhome for it.
Yeah, and then when we're at home, we don't need a big car. That, you know,
No, there's just the two of us, so we just need a car for taking my mum shopping and
yeah.
taking my mum shopping. I think that's about it, really, isn't it?
At the moment, yeah, it doesn't do.
Yeah,
not doing much else.
Not going anywhere. But when we go to places like Wales, and the roads are so
Narrow, yeah.
that's the word.
Yeah.
And it's brilliant having a little car with you.
Yeah.
So I think we've got the best of both worlds.
I do, because when we went on a Scottish tour, we just took the motorhome.
Yeah. And that's the other thing, is that we don't always take the car with us.
No.
People think that was one of the questions we had on another video, wasn't it? You always seem to take the car with you. Well, we don't. When we go to Scotland, we don't tend to take the car with us. Certainly when we've been going to Europe, we didn't take the car with us.
No.
Didn't feel the need.
No, that's right. No. Okay, so
All
that's
right.
that one.
Good question.
Yep.
Good question.
Next one's from Sandra Wilson.
Yeah.
Hi Bob, Jenny and Poppy. My husband and I have been watching you for a couple of years now, and you have inspired us to look at getting a motorhome, possibly this year, fingers crossed. Andy said, in the meantime, can we borrow yours for a couple of weeks? No, so move on.
No, I mean we have thought about hiring out motorhomes, but honestly, you know, you could make some money out of it, but I'd worry what state it comes back in. I don't mean to be rude to
Andy. No.
But hiring it out is not for us, if that's what you're thinking. No.
Yeah, no. Right, Hitch Up and Tow say,
oh, yeah.
they even like this question. Hi Bob and Jenny, if you had to choose, which of the two main clubs would you pick and why?
Okay.
So we've got to choose, let's take it from the question, we've got to choose, whereas
if we could only
find it difficult to choose.
Yeah. I mean, we're in both anyway, so
Yeah.
it's we don't have to choose, but if we had to choose, do you want to go first?
I think I'd choose the Caravan and Motorhome Club, mainly because I like their booking system. I'm just a simple thing. I wanted to check what sites I'd booked for the tours.
For this tour that we
so
planned.
I go on their site, I can look at all my bookings coming up in a nice table.
Yeah.
I went on to the Caravan and Camping Club.
No, Camping and Caravan Club,
yeah.
there you go. Even we get it wrong.
Is that right?
Camping and Caravan Club, yeah.
Yeah, the CCC.
Yeah.
And what I found with that is that not only can you not view your bookings, but they've taken the menu option off.
Yeah. I mean, I think if the Camping and Caravanning Club hired the Caravan and Motorhome Club's website designers, it would be quite different.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with their website. It's bizarre, and that's one thing that puts us off booking sites with the Camping and Caravanning Club.
Yeah, and also, and I don't want to get into big discussions about deposits, you know, whether you should have them or whether you shouldn't have them, but the beauty of the Caravan and Motorhome Club is you can amend and cancel a booking.
Especially when all this cancellations have been going on. If you book sites, we booked a load of sites in Northern Ireland, and it took ages for us to get our money back. We've got two private sites booked that we booked over a year ago now, and what they've been doing is carrying our deposit forward. I think, well, if this goes on much longer, how much further are they going to carry our deposits forward?
I know.
They've got your money.
And
you know, so I think that I think, to be fair to the Camping and Caravanning Club, they have refunded.
Yeah, they have, and they transfer it to your next booking. So you know that we didn't have a problem.
That's more of a moan about some private sites, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, yeah, we did have wait a long while to get a response to a message about it, though.
This is on the Northern Ireland.
I suppose
site,
because I've done databases in the past, I just like using the Caravan and Motorhome Club.
It's more logical.
Just see.
I mean, also things like site plan. You can download the site plan. That was the other thing we were talking about on the planning video. On the Caravan and Motorhome Club site, you can download the site plan, so you can see what the site's like before you get there. Can't do that on the Camping and
But I know that particular topic causes a lot of discussion on Facebook, and people get a little bit heated about it. So we don't want to do that. We love both clubs for different reasons. It's just if I had to choose, and one said they were closing down, and which one would you choose or whatever?
Well, you couldn't, could you? If one was closing down,
well, if I had to choose,
we're in both.
We're in both,
both sites. Both clubs have great sites, and that's the point. And cost-wise, I think they're roughly the same. I don't think there's too much difference.
No.
Possibly the Caravan Motorhome clubs are a little bit more expensive sometimes, particularly in peak seasons. The Camping and Caravanning Club are doing all sorts of discounts. They've got £20 off here and £10 off here, and if you go on a weekday and come on the third Wednesday of the month, and
it is if you want to change anything, or you want to actually see what you booked. It seems a bit behind.
Shall we move on?
We'll move on from that. So that's that one. Right, Alison Gilman says, as it will be Valentine's Day, when did you both discover your love for motorhoming?
My early thoughts about it, we were going to a cottage at Applecross. There was a cottage called the Lock End Cottage, and we were sitting outside that Lock End thinking, this is wonderful, isn't it? And we were going out the following day, taking the car out, and I think we were driving over the Balachna Bar and backwards and forwards to get anywhere else other than the Applecross Peninsula.
Yeah, we felt a bit cut off, didn't we? We were there for about 2 weeks. Yeah.
That's right. We'd booked 2 weeks, so every day or days we were going out, we were going backwards and forwards over that.
Wonderful drive.
A fantastic drive. But it sort of occurred to me then, if we had a motorhome, we could perhaps stay a few days at Applecross and then go on somewhere else, and then stay a few days there, and we could do much more exploring and cover more of an area with the motorhome.
Yeah, but when did you discover that you really loved the motorhome, and that's why you thought about it?
I thought that's why I thought about it. We hired one, was it 98?
Well, the one we hired on our own was 2003. We went with your mum in 96.
Well, that's the one I'm thinking of.
Did you back then? Because I didnn't really then.
No, and that's, I'll answer my bit. And you can do your bit. That's when I think when we first hired a motorhome, we thought, we were sitting and we'd gone to the Lock End Cottage, we'd come back and we said, well, why don't we try it? Why don't we hire a motorhome? So we hired this motorhome. It was in Berwick. Was it Berwick or North Berwick? No,
Berwick, yeah.
And hired this van, and it was a big A-class, a Pilot Galaxy. It's a great big thing it was, and not the best introduction to motorhome.
No.
But we hired it, and I quite liked it. I did actually. I enjoyed it. You weren't so keen because we had numerous problems with it. We couldn't figure out how to fill it up, how to empty, how to switch the electricity on and the gas on,
and it leaked.
And any question that you've ever seen on Facebook, we did that. We did that. We were the ones going, how do you switch the gas on? Except there wasn't Facebook then, was there?
There wasn't anything. We really felt like we were on our own.
So you weren't so keen, I don't think.
I don't think I was so keen then. So we tried again in 2003, and they booked us on a tour, didn't they? At Caravan and Motorhome Club site.
It was organised through it was organised through Marquis of Preston, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
and
the Vanti was
the van that we borrowed, and it was in conjunction with the Caravan and Motorhome Club, or the Caravan Club as they were then, and they set out a tour, a planned tour for you.
That's right.
And it was the Lake District, wasn't it?
Lake District in Yorkshire. It ended in Hawes, didn't it? Yeah, no, we had a dog by then. We had Katie.
Yeah.
And I think it was the fact that she seemed to really enjoy it. We were moving around. It was quite a nice little tour, wasn't it? Started at Meathop first.
We ought to do that tour again.
Yeah, we could do. Yeah, so that was when I started, and that's when we went back. We took the van back, didn't we? And we were looking around the vans they got there.
Yeah.
And there was a little a Vista, wasn't it? A brand new Vista.
Yeah.
And we looked in that, and I said, this is really nice.
The funny thing was, we went in there and thought, this is really nice. And the salesman sticks his head around the corner and he said, you're interested in this? And I just thought, I'll casually ask how much it was. And I said, it was about 26,000 or something like that. And he says, oh no, this is 36,000. So we came away,
And we said, well, we'll go to, and Marcus actually had one in Harpenden, didn't they?
Yeah.
So we went in there, and there was a Vista. It was an older one, and that was the first van we bought. So that tour for me in that hired van was the thing.
Yeah.
Katie enjoying it, we enjoying it.
Yeah. So we sold our souls to the devil and bought one.
Well, bought one. Yeah, that's right. Right. So next question that follows on a bit, really, from Mark Hill, and he says, what is the best day away or holiday you have had in your motorhome?
Oh, we've had so many, and this is a really difficult question to answer. I mean, for me, I think possibly going to Verdun.
Yeah,
That was
very emotional, wasn't
very
it?
emotional,
Yeah. All that sort of area, the battlefields in Belgium,
especially with your granddad's connection as well.
Yeah, that's Ypres. That's what keeps drawing me back there. Since I found out that's where he was wounded and captured.
Yeah.
I feel a connection to him that he was there.
Yeah.
But I think really the best. I was thinking about this. The best holiday, or the best feeling I had was we'd shortly moved here, and we'd got to the Bailey, and we went on our first tour that we'd been able to do for. Oh, I don't know, 7 years, 6 years, something like that. Because
I mean, we'd bought a motorhome in 2006, a new motorhome in 2006, and we were only able to use it for weekends away, weren't we? And the occasional week or two away.
Yeah, or mainly a week or two away.
It was a bit like being in a COVID lockdown, wasn't it?
It was a bit, because I think we said this in our money tips thing, that the years just before that had been very difficult with business and all sorts of things. Mum and Dad not being well. So this was the first trip that we set off on, and I'd managed to book 4 or 5 sites, and we went to, I think we did it in the last Throwback Thursday. We went to Chester, went to Mid Wales, and we went down to the coast, and then we came back, and that rekindled the initial feelings I had on that very first tour that we did in 2003. This is great, going from site to site. Yeah,
it was the feeling of freedom, wasn't it? I think that's what motorhomes give you. Just getting away from it all and seeing something different, but having all your comforts with you. Yeah. That's why we love them.
Yeah, and I mean, during the tough years, just to have that, to be able to go away for a weekend. We used to go Ferry Meadows.
Forget our troubles, as it were.
Yeah, and just go
there. We didn't need to pack up our troubles in an old kit bag, did we?
We had the motorhome, yeah. So, and then that's what I remember feeling from that holiday. Right, so the next one is from Phil and Taz Green.
Oh, this is a long one, isn't it?
Yeah, it says, hi Bob and Jenny, we started following you 2 years ago, which inspired us to get our first motorhome. Never done camping before, we love every minute. We live in Somerset and toured Wales and Scotland twice, the Dales and Peak District. Yeah. My wife and I still work, but try to get away as much as possible with our 2 Cocker Spaniels.
A bit like we did, yeah.
I could hear Poppy then. We're thinking about going to Europe next year with Dudley and Humphrey, our dogs. Please could you let us know what would be the best way to start planning, i.e. places to stay, time of the year, and what we need for Dudley and Humphrey to ensure they enjoy their trip.
Yeah, well, that's a good question. I think both the main clubs do escorted tours through Europe. Yeah. And that would probably be a good place to start if you're a little bit nervous about going into Europe, but you want to see a bit more. Then look at one of the escorted tours, and they'll book all the sites for you and tell you. Sometimes they have a guide that goes round with you, and other times they will let you go to the sites yourself and make your own way round there. So that might be a good place to start.
Yeah.
Rather than trying to plan everything yourself. They'll also give you advice on, what you need as regards, not pet passport now or whatever it is.
Animal health certificate, isn't it, at the moment?
Yeah, and that's, I think that's, for us, was one of the sort of the things that was stopping us booking things, because we weren't quite sure what the requirements were. We know a little bit clearer now. And perhaps, when we do know for definite. Well, we do know for definite what we're going to do, but
we haven't done it.
We haven't done it. No. And last time we spoke to our vet, and we said we were going to Northern Ireland. The similar thing applies going to Northern Ireland, that you'll need an animal health certificate, and you'll need the tick and flea treatment before you come back.
Yeah.
So it's not much different apart from the idea
it's
that...
not tick and flea, it's worming.
Sorry, worming,
Yeah.
before you come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so not a huge amount has changed as far as that's concerned. The travelling arrangements, I think if you're ever travelling with dogs, you need to make sure they're safe and secure. You don't want them wandering around the motorhome.
No.
And the other sort of slight thing, and I don't know if this is still the case, is there's a worry about what dog food you're taking with you, because they're not allowing you to bring in meat products, meat and dairy products.
I mean, the last time we went on a European tour was in 2018, and we did a video before we went, and I did a checklist, didn't I, of things that you had to take, but some of that is probably out of date now.
Yeah, but it's also probably...
but I found I wanted to do that before we went, just to remind yourself to take passports and all this sort of thing. Yeah,
and it's probably, you can find that information with the clubs as well.
Yeah.
And have a look on that. So I think that's probably the best idea. I absolutely would love to get away to Europe this year, but I'm not even sure we're going to be able to do it this year. So unlike you, we're probably looking at the year after.
Yeah.
And if we can get to Northern Ireland, that will be a bonus.
Yeah.
At the moment, so that's not looking hopeful either.
No.
Moving on,
right. Captured by Kenny says, do you have a drone, or would you ever get one?
I did actually reply in the comments on this. I was kindly sent a drone, wasn't I?
Given one by,
Brain's gone now. We were given a drone and
to try.
It was a low cost drone, and I did have all sorts of problems and fun and games trying to get it to work, and I must admit, it sort of put me off. And what I managed to do is I got it to take off a little bit, and he went and he went straight in the water.
Well, it shot off, didn't it? It didn't seem to be moving, and then you went move closer to it, and then it just shot off and went in the river.
Yeah, it looked like it made its o00 mind up to shoot off. So goodness knows what was going on there. So I got a little bit worried about the idea of spending £400 or £500.
Yeah, you haven't got it past the financial controller yet.
So if anyone can persuade Jenny I should have a drone.
Yeah.
I mean, perhaps what I ought to do is go on the drone training courses you can get now, because you can get more advanced certification, can't you? So, I'd love to have a drone, and I mean, it's a great little toy and a gadget, and I'd love to do it. But watch that video. I mean, I'll put a link up about here, and highly amusing.
Yeah. The next one's from Faith Goodman. It was about your GoPro equipment. Can you give details of your most up-to-date GoPro equipment?
Right, okay. I will probably have to take a picture of what I'm using to film at the moment, but basically it's not changed since the last GoPro Yolanzi video I did. I've got a Hero 7 that I'm currently filming on at the moment, and I use that to film these sort of things, and I use it in the window of the motorhome to film our going along video footage. I've also got a Hero 8 which has got the lightweight plastic Yolanzi case. I didn't go for the medium mod. I did buy the heavier Yolanzi case, the metal case, but thought it was a bit heavy, and then found out afterwards that they did a plastic case. So that's currently what my setup is. I've got a couple of tripods. I've got a Yolanzi tripod for the Hero 7, and I've got a what's called a GoPro Shorty that I use for the Hero 8 over there, which is currently providing lighting for that side. So our setup hasn't changed very much. We're also bought a green screen, which we're going to try out in this video. You might see a bit of green cloth behind us, or you might see a wonderful vista or something behind us. And we'll see how that goes.
Henri would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, so we haven't bought any real change, have we? I mean, the thing about that Yolanzi case was the original one you thought was a bit heavy, but we had to wait a while, didn't we, for the light one, because
I don't think it was out when I bought the heavy one. So
I'm sure you were saying later, a couple of weeks later, or they might be bringing out a lighter one, but because the virus affected everything in China as well, didn't it?
The other thing to say is I nearly bought a GoPro Hero 9.
Yeah, yes.
Just before Christmas, was it?
Yeah, yes.
And I ordered it, and every time I tried to order it, something went wrong on the website, didn't it?
Yeah.
And it started, what's going on here? Or I'll do it again. And I did that about 3 times. And then I discovered that somehow I'd ordered a Hero 8, which I've obviously already got.
Yeah.
I thought, what they're doing.
But obviously, I think there were so many people using the website that a lot of the orders got crossed over or something.
Yeah.
Because we never got another Hero 8, did we? And
no,
there was nothing on our credit card.
No, we could see that it'd been ordered with the supplier. I think they were in Minnesota or somewhere. Somewhere
near New York.
Was it?
Yeah, where Alpha used to be, at Burlington.
Okay. And we could see that they'd got the order, and I was on the phone, what you're doing? Well, I didn't order this, I never ordered that. And they're saying, well, we can't cancel the order until you receive it.
Yeah.
So they were waiting for the Hero 8 that I never ordered to arrive, so I could
order a Hero 9. So we just left.
We gave up in the end, and I thought, well, I'm happy with the Hero 8.
Happy with what we've got.
So we'll stick with that. We might get a Hero 10.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Whatever that comes out.
Right. So moving on to
we're getting there.
Page 2. We're getting there now. Right. This is from Glyn Beckwith.
Yeah.
If you could take your motorhomes to any city, town in the world, where would you go?
Well, if it was right now, I think I'd want to get to Belgium and go back to Ypres again.
Yeah, I would as well. I said this to you yesterday, where would you like to go? And I was thinking Ypres.
I mean, if it is possible that we can get to Europe, there's a little window of opportunity this year. I think we'd do a little break over there. It's easy to get to, drive through the tunnel, turn left.
Yeah,
go east.
A friend near Antwerp, isn't there? Annie May.
And I think Glenn enjoyed that holiday as well, didn't he?
We did have a nice time there. Yeah. Right, Brumsgrub says, do you think people go to the coast too much for a break when there are such lovely sights and places inland?
Well, speaking as someone who lives near the coast, people are coming to the coast way too often. It's funny, isn't it? We used to live about 80 miles from the seaside, didn't we?
Yeah.
And going to the seaside was quite a treat for us.
Yes,
seeing the waves and hearing the sea and smelling the seaweed or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So, I can understand why people are attracted to the sea. It was horrendous during the summer at Formby and that. It was just hordes of people had descended on Formby.
Yeah, we couldn't get anywhere near it, could we? We just gave up.
I mean, the poor residents there, they had someone in the local paper said they had someone who parked on their grass on their lawn.
Yeah.
And they went out to confront them, and they said, big argument. Nowhere to park. Where do you expect me to park? I'll park on your lawn.
Yeah.
So I think you're right. People do flock, particularly when there's
good
weather and restrictions have just been lifted or whatever.
Yeah.
People do flock to the coast. There's plenty of beautiful scenery inland. Peak District. The Dales.
Yeah.
Northumbria.
Yep.
Go there.
Yeah, some of the lochs in Scotland.
Even
you don't have to go.
The Lake District.
Yeah.
Wales, if you could go to Wales.
Yeah.
Yeah. Move on.
Okay, right. Sean Alexander says, hello all. Good to see you're still posting videos to keep all sane at this time.
Yeah.
Question is, do you have a tour of the UK that you would recommend akin to the NC500, Snowdonia 360, Hart 200, etc.? You could call it the BJPT number. Thanks and take care.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? The tours like the NC500 been designed by tourist boards to attract people coming in cars and motorbikes, presumably, as a road trip. But whilst you're here, pop into these towns and villages and bed and breakfast and all that sort of thing. I don't think they were ever designed for motorhomes and caravans. These trips, they didn't have that in mind. So it's actually. Think it's quite difficult for us to say, no, what you should do is drive around here like that.
Yeah.
What we tend to do is we want to explore an area and west of Scotland or whatever it is, and then we choose where to go. We have never done the NC500. We've done every bit of it in different times, but we've never gone, we're going to drive around there.
I mean, the main part of it we did was when we did the Highlands and Islands tour in 2018, I think that was as well.
Yeah, we drove
and
most of it.
we went to Harris and Lewis,
Yeah.
and then we came back and we went up to Kinlochew, and we went all the way around the top,
Yeah.
and then came down the middle. We didn't
Yeah.
go further on.
No, so we didn't
Thanet
start
Bay.
at Inverness, go across and then up.
No,
And,
because we've done that other part of it
yeah.
on its own, haven't we? We
Yeah.
did that with the others. We went up to Thanet Bay and then came down the A9 that way.
I would say be creative, invent your own tours.
I usually try and go around in a bit of a circle.
Yeah, I normally do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Try
no.
to.
No, we haven't got any recommended routes that you should take.
No.
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 It was a bit
Right.
negative, wasn't it?
Yeah, Derek Marek,
Marek, yeah.
yeah. Hi Bob, Jenny and Poppy. If your motorhome didn't come with a canopy, would you buy one? As didn't, and thinking about whether to get one or not, thanks.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? They are quite expensive, aren't they, to add on. I think probably yes. You could use a canopy when you don't want to put an awning out, or a drive-away awning or a fixed awning. So yeah, I think I'd probably have a canopy. I think when we've ever bought our motorhomes, it was always been the one thing we've ticked on the options box, isn't it? That,
We did with the Starfire, didn't we?
Yeah.
Because the Vista already had one, didn't it? Came with one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
yeah.
we were used to having one.
Yeah, the thing about the Vista is we didn't know which side of the motorhome to put it on. Remember that?
Yeah, because it got a back door.
Because it got a back door, so we didn't know
Yeah, so
where
we
to.
had to go out the back door and
Yeah.
go around to
So
it. Yeah.
did we put it on the right-hand side or in the
Oh,
end?
I can't remember.
Can't remember, because I think he said which side of the thing do you want it on, so
Yeah.
that was quite interesting.
Yeah. Yes.
But yeah, I'd buy.
We've always had one, and it's nice if it's a bit too hot and you want a bit of shade, and
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
it's raining a little bit.
Yeah,
you
you don't
want to
want
sit
what you don't want
outside.
to do is leave it out in the wind and rain, and we've
No.
done that as well, haven't we? Inkerborough Fields springs to mind.
Oh, grief, yes. Well, we put that awning room up there, hadn't we?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
to put the actual canopy bit away on
Yeah,
its own
yeah, it was
wouldn't have been
frightening.
too bad,
Yeah.
but we had to put that away, and then all we were left with was canopy, and I think I was almost holding it
hanging
up
on
at
to
one
it.
time.
Yeah, I think the thing about a canopy is it's easy to put up and it's easy to put away,
Yes,
and it gives you a bit of shade.
yeah. So we like it.
So tick in the box for canopy.
Right, Ohio Cat says, hi Bob and Jenny and Poppy too. As an American viewer, I would love to know if you ever thought about taking a trip across the United States in a rented RV. If you had the opportunity to do so, what are some of the top places, cities, states, attractions or national parks that you would love to see? Thank you for all of your great videos.
Yeah, I did actually answer this in the comments as well, so thanks for the question. It's a great question. I'd love to go to the States. And I think I said what I'd like to do is drive from down the west coast, from Seattle down to Washington.
Because you watch the smokes a lot, don't you?
Yeah, one of the
smoke
channels we
vlogs.
watch, they live
Washington,
Washington,
don't
Toledo way.
Toledo, yeah.
Yeah, and
they? Scenery.
well, the roads are empty,
Yeah.
aren't they? That's the
Yeah.
other thing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I know what San Francisco's roads are not empty, but
But where he is.
where he is, and that
Yeah.
west coast and the Pacific Coast Highway further down, and
Yeah.
I'd love to do that. Not sure I would want to do the whole Route 66 and all of
No,
that.
no.
I mean, I probably ought to see the Grand Canyon and the big tourist spots. And
Yeah, I suppose I'm quite interested in the New York State area.
yeah,
Because through doing my family tree, I've discovered I've got loads of second cousins, because a lot of, when we went to Norfolk, have you ever seen
Yeah.
that video?
Yeah.
A lot of them emigrated to
yeah,
New York.
yeah. Well, because your mum and dad went, didn't they, to New York State and
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did,
on a
yeah.
holiday.
Yeah, so I think a part of that was my dad wanted to see where
Yeah.
some of the rest of the family had gone.
Yeah, I think the thing that stops us going is Poppy, really.
Yeah,
We could in theory take her with us, but being stuck in a crate and an airline for 8 hours or whatever sort of puts us off. Maybe should go on a cruise and take the motorhome with us or something. or
Yes.
hire. Well, I mean, you could hire one when you get over there. You could
Didn't the explorers think they were going to do that?
Oh, yeah.
They looked at the Queen Mary, didn't they? And we're going to take the 2 dogs with them.
Yeah, no. What did they say?
Something horrendous amount per day.
Per day, it was something like £4,000 per day.
That'd be
wasn't
great.
it?
They got all excited about it. That's the ideal, we'll go on the Queen Mary.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's expensive doing that as well.
Yeah.
Shipping a motorhome over is probably, putting on a cargo container if you could do that.
Well, the indie projects were going to do that, weren't they? But then the pandemic came.
Yeah,
They couldn't do it.
I think they're still planning to do it, so
Yeah.
that would be interesting to watch.
Yeah.
But I think if we were going to do it, we'd want to fly and then do a hire over there. Some people actually buy an RV when they're over there, use it for a few months, and then sell it before they come back.
Yeah.
So that appeals.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, so that's that one.
So thanks for the question.
All right, sword. Well, it's SWD man.
Yeah.
I think it's sword man.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
What has been the most embarrassing thing that's happened in the motorhome?
Yeah. There's so many embarrassing things that happen in the motorhome, but the things that sort of stick in my mind is obviously when we first started. I think leaving a club site, and I was driving around, and people were waving at us, sort of doing this, and
I thought they're all very friendly. They were going.
And what I'd done is I'd left the roof open. It really reminded me, I don't know if you've ever seen it, of planes, trains and automobiles where they're driving on the wrong side of the road.
Yeah, it was big.
I think, why are they waving at me?
Yeah, but it got a bit frantic with some of them, didn't it? They were going, stop.
So possibly the most embarrassing. And then when you realise what an idiot you feel.
Yeah.
So that's why we have a checklist.
Yeah.
A setting off checklist.
Yeah, I don't think we've only ever done that once since, haven't we? Yeah, because of that.
Come on, what was your
I was just going to say that when we hired, I think it was the second van, 2003, we didn't really understand about emptying water and things, did we?
No.
And I said I'll try the shower, and we hadn't taken what was called a cowl.
There was a cowl on
off the hot water, the boiler thing.
The boiler exhaust.
Yeah. So I went in there, turned it on, freezing cold water. I think this is strange. And then the next thing I looked down was the floor was flooded, because what we hadn't done was emptied the waste tank.
Waste tank. We didn't know how to empty the waste tank.
No. So you embarrassed. I think you had to go. Did you go and ask the warden?
Yeah, I think so.
The handover wasn't very good for this hire one, was it?
Well, I think, and I've said this to other people, when they're having a handover, what should I do is make notes.
We didn't, did we?
We didn't.
So excited.
You're excited, aren't you?
Yeah.
And, you always have to stop yourself when people ask what seems like a daft question. You think, well, actually, I did that.
Yeah. So that was quite embarrassing, because there you were.
Yeah.
Moving back, we had like a little black thing, didn't we?
Yeah.
You were putting water in that, and you were running across the thing. Then it would have been quite funny to have filmed. Yeah. So that was quite embarrassing. Because it was, what on earth were you doing? Right. Hilary Carter Thompson says, on your videos, you sometimes wonder if the hose and/or electric cable will reach. I think the most stretch was the Brecon Beacons pitch. I think it was actually that York one, wasn't it? Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah. How long actually are they, please?
I think the electric cable's 25 metres, and I think the flat water hose is 25 metres. But last summer we thought it was a great idea to take the short hose with us, which is only about 10 metres, and half the time it wouldn't reach. And I think that site at Stroud Hill was the worst one, because we couldn't fill up. It was a service pitch, but the water was in the middle of the field.
Yeah, and we just couldn't get anywhere near it, could we? So,
no.
Yeah. And she has a cheeky second question.
Yeah.
Are there any campsites which have closed over all the years you've motorhome, which you wish were still open?
No, but there is one that is closing, and that's Blade and Chains.
That's quite sad.
That's closing in September because the lease has expired.
Yeah.
No, I don't think there's any sites that we've been going to that have closed.
I mean, we thought How to Mill had closed, didn't we?
It closed temporarily, hadn't it?
Yeah.
And it reopened then as an NT
National Trust
campsite.
Yeah, I can't think of can't think of any other. I mean, it is sad about Blade and Chains. I think most of the other ones that we've ever been to, if they're no longer club sites, they're like How to Mill. They're owned by someone else now. Yeah, there are ones you sort of think would be sad if they did close.
It seems crazy, doesn't it, that a campsite's closing when there's such a demand for camping.
Well, we don't know what the future of it will be, do we?
No, but I think what I read was they were talking about putting chalets up or something.
Oh, right. Okay.
Balmy.
Yeah.
Sorry, I shouldn't say that.
We're attempting to go there, aren't we, for one final time? Because it was a favourite. We often used to go there. Right, so Liam Gooderham,
yeah. Okay.
Yep. If there is one thing you could invent to improve your motorhome itself or holidays away in your motorhome generally, what would it be?
I think, and I have to say, I've been watching John and Mandy recently, and he's been changing his fridge for one that runs off 12 volts or 240 volts. I think getting away from the reliance on gas is becoming more of an issue. It's people who've bought refillable tanks. I think there are less and less. Probably someone's going to correct me here. There seems to be less and less places where you can get refillable gas. Certainly less filling stations where you can do that. The cost of LPG and Cal is horrendous.
Yeah.
I mean, a refillable tank obviously saves you some money, but if we could get away from that reliance on gas, then I think that will be a big bonus. Perhaps a motorhome will come along that's perhaps got a halogen hob and some other form of heating for the cooker, because I think the cooker is possibly the area you need to improve. You certainly need bigger batteries for powering things when you're off grid, and solar panels and all those sort of things. I think it might come to a head when we get to the stage where they've got to switch to electric vehicles, which goes back to one of the earlier questions
where we've been 10 years time.
So if you could have a motorhome that is, I mean, there are camper vans that are LPG free, gas free.
I didn't realise that you could get it's almost the same as our fridge in our van, the one they've got.
Oh yeah.
I didn't realise. I always thought of those compressor fridges as being the little things that you see in camper vans, but it looks the same as our one. It's terrific, that.
Yeah, they do use more 12 volts when you're off grid.
So therefore you've got to, they've got quite a big setup.
Well, that's right. He's got a massive solar panel array. He's got two big solar panels. He's got lithium batteries, and so if you're doing off grid, then and you need to switch away from gas, then have a look at John and Mandy's channel. It's I think I'll put a link up here to it, and see what you think. Yeah.
Okay then. So Rachel Devine says,
good name.
Yep, me partner and I are first time buyers. It's very difficult to look with COVID. We want a 6 metre one to start with. Which motorhome would you recommend as a starter motorhome? Thank you, love all your videos, tips, etc.
Yeah, so thanks for the question. It's a question I get asked quite a lot. Is what motorhome should I buy? If I could answer you, I would say buy this one, but I can't. The thing about buying a motorhome, it's like buying a house. It's like buying a car, but it's like buying a car and a house. There's so much choice. What you want to do is you want to start with what layout works for you. And if you know what layout works for you, that narrows down your choice. Then perhaps you want to look at what size vehicle, how many people you're taking with you, where you're going to use it, how you're going to use it. Do you want to park in do you want to use campsites? If you want to use campsites, then you don't need to worry about bigger batteries and solar panels like we don't. But if you want to do wild camping and more off-grid stuff, then you're going to think about how you're going to do the battery. There's so much choice. It's an impossible question to answer. I mean, the only thing I say is some 6 metre ones tend to often be called something compact, don't they? As Adria do them. We had a Bailey compact. But you've got to decide then what sort of layout you want. Are you going to have a drop-down bed, or are you going to have sofas that pull together? Do you need to take passengers? There's all sorts of things, like you said. I think it's best advice I can give is look for a used van. Start with a used van. Think about a used van is if you buy it and you look after it, if you sell it after 8 months, a year, you're not going to lose too much money on it.
No, we've hardly lost any, do we, on that little Vista?
No, that's right. Whereas if you buy new, you've got an immediate drop in depreciation, a drop in value, if you like.
That's right, yeah. And find a good dealer to when they're open.
That's
a lot of them are doing websites.
Yeah, watch out for the virtual shows.
Yeah, virtual shows are coming, aren't they, at the end of the month?
Yeah, it might give you an idea what to look for. The layout idea, you've got to know how you prefer to sleep, I suppose. And our bed video, choosing the beds, I think is a good start, because the bed is probably one of the most critical areas for living in a motorhome, because you spend a third of your life there. What type of bed you get determines what type of kitchen you get, determines what sort of lounge you want, and all that. So it's not an easy choice.
No.
And it's not an easy answer.
No, especially as you can't just go to a dealer and just look around. It's difficult at the moment.
Plus, what we were talking about earlier, hiring before you buy. That's what we did. Is another good one. At least then you know if you like the motorhome lifestyle, because there's no use thinking you've got the perfect layout and then realise you hate motorhoming in the first place.
That's right.
so
Right, and the final question is from Dr. Fish 10. What gadget have you bought that you thought would be great, which you now regret? We're talking about this, and you'll have to get it.
I'll have to go and get it. Shall I go and get it?
Yeah, go and get it then.
All right. I'm back.
You're back.
So yes, this seemed like a really good idea at the time, and it's called an aluminium backpacker table. I think the clue was in the backpacker word.
It was, wasn't it? Well, we just thought we needed a table outside, didn't we? I can't remember.
A drinks table. That's
drinks
what we were
table.
thinking.
That's what we were thinking. Just we could easily put up.
I mean, the great thing about this is it's not the worst purchasing decision we've ever made, but I can't even remember how it works. It's got one of them.
That's to hold the table together, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's cold.
It's very cold. It's in the shed. It's got little legs.
Yeah.
Like that. It's got. It's very clever.
Yeah.
And what you do is you
put that down, don't you? And then it just does that until you do this. And this is the bit I always used to have the fun with.
And you feed the legs through.
Yeah.
And you see that you've got to feed the legs through each of these. You're getting there. And you sort of waggle that about a bit, and you hope it goes in there.
I used to have a bit of trouble with this. I just give up on it. But it's easier to have a tray.
I can't get this in it.
And I was trying to put this up once when we had other people with us and they were waiting for a coffee.
Oh, it's finally gone in.
Yeah.
Then you do the other one,
Yes,
the other
I think
side.
it's easier once you first one.
Yeah.
Well, possibly not. I thought it's just me who had problems with it.
Oh. Are you still with us?
Yeah. Yes, it was. That's just because it's so cold.
It might be. It might be the aluminium's. There we go.
Right.
And then finally.
Then the big disappointment really was how short it was.
So you put that on the ground and then you're leaning there for your drinks.
And it's actually looks like it leans a bit anyway.
Well,
So you've not got the leg out.
I probably haven't got the legs out properly. What a good idea that was. I don't think it's the worst thing we've ever bought, or it's something we've never used again.
We did use it a bit that first year that we had it. I think mainly because we thought we bought this table. We wanted to see if we can get on with it. I don't think it was much money. I don't remember how much it was.
I think on a more serious note, probably the thing I most regret buying, if that's is that the question? Is that?
Which gadget have you bought that you thought would be great, which you now regret?
Yeah, is the privacy room, the Fiamma privacy room.
Yeah.
We we haven't used it at all since we bought this motorhome. We used it about once with the previous motorhome.
Yeah, I thought we used it more. I can remember it was quite good in nice weather.
Yeah, but as soon as the wind gets up...
As soon as the wind gets up, and that's what... I mean, we took it to New England Bay, didn't we? Nearly lost it. We nearly lost it at Inkerborough Fields. Yeah. It's...
And I know I made a video and made it look difficult putting it out. In good weather, and if you planned everything right, it's reasonably easy to put up. It just takes a long time. And by the time you've put it up, you really need a break. You need to sit down in it.
I think it was great when we used to just go away for weekends, because we were near to home, so we didn't have a big journey to get there or a big journey to get home, and then it was just quite nice to put that up and for a couple of days. But
it's just made us laugh.
Yeah.
I've got to put it away now, you know.
Yeah, I know. So it'd be ideal for Poppy, really, if I thought of that.
Yeah.
But her height. Yeah, so that's it. That's questions. And
I think we were 23 questions.
Something like that,
So thanks for sending all the questions and appreciate that. The reason, I suppose, for doing this is I'm getting asked sort of questions all the time. If you found this useful, let us know in the comments. If you want us to make perhaps a monthly questions and answers, we'll do that. I've got a link down below that goes to, I've got a blog type web page, and that's got frequently asked questions on there as well, so you can have a look at that. And I think that's it.
I think that's it. Yeah.
I think I've run out of things to say.
You think on that note,
So if you enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up, remember to subscribe, hit the notifications icon, and you get updates when we release another video. So thanks for watching. See you soon.
Bye then.
Bye.